Indonesia is a large, diverse country made up of thousands of islands and over 250 million people. As a G20 nation, it has an increasingly diverse economy and has been developing rapidly over the last several decades. However, with this impressive growth comes a number of environmental and social challenges. For decades, people have been suffering from the effects of natural disasters caused partly by unsustainable development policies and environmental mismanagement, such as floods, landslides, forest fires, drought, and famine.
Environmental challenges in Indonesia are very complex. Yeah? Some people only have land-based problems. We have land-based and marine and coastal problems.
The Ministry of Environment and Forestry has several programs dealing the land use. Forest and land use mitigation sector, I think as the role of the forest is can be a source of many things. For example, source of energy. So the ministry have a program to develop substitute energy. For example, geothermal, biofuel, and so on. In Paris Agreement, there is a specific article dealing with the REDD+. That is Article 5. So through the Paris Agreement, we will empower our program to implement the RED+ in the national level and as well the subnational level.
In recent years, to cope with environmental challenges yet maintain economic growth and reduce poverty, Indonesia has turned to a new growth model, green growth, which is a coordinated advancement of economic growth, environmental sustainability, poverty reduction, and social inclusion driven by the sustainable development and use of global resources.
And we've worked with the government at the national level as well as the subnational level. The focal point of the program, the Green Growth Program, is Bappenas, the Ministry of National Development Planning. But we also work directly with implementing agencies working on energy, forest and land use, and also economic zones.
A comprehensive program is in place in Indonesia, progressing from planning to enabling and investment towards the implementation of bankable projects. The program includes activities at both national and subnational levels. Capacity building supports all these elements. Through a new green growth facility, knowledge and technical services will be disseminated.
During the first year, our cooperation with GGGI, we tried to introduce the green growth idea, not just at the central level, but it's also at the provincial level, starting for the planning process and also how to mainstream the green growth into the development plan, and also introducing green growth into the as a particular economic activity such as economic industrial estate, and then also especially in this Kalimantan the industrial zone.
Tahap awalnya memang kita punya strategi adalah bagaimana kita melakukan awareness terlebih dulu terhadap berbagai pelaku daripada KEK. Ya. Misalkan GGGI membantu untuk penyempurnaan master plan, kemudian yang pelatihan pilihan aplikasi daripada HCBA kepada para pelaku KEK. Ini dilakukan terhadap KEK Bitung, KEK Palu, KEK Mandalika dan sebagainya.
We are providing technical support to the East Kalimantan government by shaping a pre-feasibility study to assess biomass power generation potential in East Kalimantan. The government in East Kalimantan tries to provide plans to have a greener energy mix in the long term. The energy mix is currently still highly dependent on diesel and coal-powered fired electric generation. But there's a lot of biomass power generation in the province, especially in Pome, using empty fruit punch technology.
We are collaborating with GGGIs in Central Kalimantan and East Kalimantan in two fronts. One is in the policy front, whereby GGGI is supporting the regional governments in developing their green growth policy. And part of it is actually promoting the sustainable energy development. The second part is actually working on trying to see some pilot initiatives. For example, in Pulang Pisau districts, working together with district government on facilitating the local government in development of course, renewable energy, focusing on bioenergy development, because we have plenty of degraded land, and what we are trying to do is actually maximizing the use of degraded land and use it for bioenergy development.
Ya, Kalimantan Timur memang merupakan negeri yang dilimpahi oleh sumber daya alam yang sangat kaya. Terkait dengan lingkungan, secara jujur kita akui, karena pemanfaatan sumber daya alam secara ekstraktif tentu berpengaruh terhadap lingkungan kita. Nampaknya memang kita belum memberikan perhatian secara seimbang pada periode yang lalu. Kita masih fokus kepada bagaimana potensi sumber daya alam ini untuk mengejar pertumbuhan ekonomi, tetapi aspek sosial dan aspek lingkungan itu belum kita lakukan secara seimbang.
GGGI mencoba untuk menyelaraskan program Green Growth pada baik itu yang visi yang dibawa oleh GGGI maupun dengan program yang dimiliki oleh pemerintah Provinsi Kalimantan Timur, dengan cara mencoba untuk melihat di mana sih sebetulnya gap yang bisa diisi oleh GGGI. Kami beruntung karena pada saat itu ada kebutuhan mendasar dari pemerintah Provinsi Kalimantan Timur untuk memperkuat substansi maupun proses penyusunan rencana pembangunan daerah mereka pada level provinsi.
Rencana ASI yang dilaksanakan oleh Bapeda Provinsi Kalimantan Tengah bersama-sama dengan SKPD yang ada di Provinsi Kalimantan Tengah dan juga pendampingan dari Triple GI adalah melakukan pengarus utamaan pembangunan ekonomi hijau di Provinsi Kalimantan Tengah ke dalam RPJMD Provinsi Kalimantan Tengah.
As a result of GGGI's work with the government of Central Kalimantan, the two pilot districts of Murung Raya and Pulang Pisau have incorporated green growth principles and actions into their development planning frameworks. Both districts have set aside budgetary allocations for green growth activities.
So now, certainly two things that I would like to underline: how to implement that in reality. Secondly, certainly how to replicate what we have started, for instance, like in East Kalimantan, to other areas in Indonesia.
Yeah, my hope for the greener and sustainable development in Indonesia is particularly about the targeting growth. We cannot targeting growth without taking into account the preservation of natural resources.
I hope that we are moving forward to solutions. All this time we try to move 1 step, 2 steps to solution, and then we move back again 3 steps, 4 steps to problems. Our solutions are not sustainable or new problems arise. I want us to move forward.
I think the partners like GGGI is very important for us, because the government is not only the single actor, but the government should involve non-state actors, including the civil society and also a private sector. So the role of civil society is very important in terms of climate change adaptation and mitigation.
My longer term hope is obviously to see that this green growth program is not needed anymore, and that the government of Indonesia is well equipped with green growth technologies and know-hows to continue to shape conducive policies and enablers, as well as strengthen stakeholders across the country to implement green growth.